Shortly after we were married, we had our first kid. And it's one of those things, when you're a parent, you want to name your kid. Like, that is something you sweat over, you pore over, you get the books, you go and find out what a name means, because you want to make sure that your kid's name means something awesome. What do you want this kid to be known by? And before we could name our first child, the Lord spoke again. And he said, I want you to name your son Jezreel. I had a problem with that. Here's why. God, you know everything. You do know that Jezreel is a valley where mass murder was committed, right? You do know that. And you want me to name my kid Jezreel. Are you kidding me? Really? Jezreel. And he said, here's why. He said, I am going to strip Israel of all of her power, her puffed up arrogance. I'm going to take it all away in that same valley. I want you to name your son Jezreel. Really? I guess there's always the next kid. Well, shortly after that, we were pregnant again, and son was a little girl. I was beginning to kind of get anxious. I was like, God, please don't name my second kid. I can take care of this on my own. Please don't name my second kid. And wouldn't you know it? Hosea. Oh, come on. Really? He said, I want you to name your daughter No Mercy. God, you do know that the popular name is Mercy, not No Mercy. Nobody wants to name their kid No Mercy. That's just stupid. Why would anyone do that? And here's why. Because I'm going to show no mercy to you, a rebellious people. God, seriously, I knew that my life was going to be difficult as a prophet. I knew it. But not my kids. My kids are going to catch it forever. Those are their names. They're going to get made fun of. They're going to get mocked. Their names. After No Mercy was weaned, we had another son. And this time I lost all hope. I was like, he's going to name this kid who knows what. Nothing could have prepared me, though. He said, I want you to name your son Nobody. What? Nobody? Really? Nobody? And he said, here's why. I was getting tired of the here's why, I'm telling you. And he said, because Israel looks at me as a nobody. And now I will look at you as a nobody. Jezreel, No Mercy, and Nobody. There's a group of names for you. But they were my kids. And I loved them just the same. Completely. You know, it's interesting, because I still remember the day. Like, I came home, and the kids were playing on the floor, and I knelt down, played with them for a little bit, said I love you, like I always had to do. I had to say like 50,000 times a day, just so they knew that the names wasn't anything personal for me. It was totally not me. And I think they, for the most part, believed that I loved them, because I did. And it was kind of different. It was odd that day, very simply because Gomer usually was in and out when I was doing that, and I hadn't seen her yet. I hadn't seen where she was, and so I kind of looked down the hallway. I asked the kids, like, have you seen your mom? And they're like, no. And so I went outside, came back inside, and I was walking through the hallway, and I saw the note. I saw the note on my side of the bed. I actually kept the note. It wasn't descriptive. There weren't a lot of words. It wasn't eloquent. It wasn't poetic. It simply said, I'm leaving. Please don't try to find me. I was speechless. Which is odd for someone who's supposed to know what to say and how to say it and when to say it. I felt defeated. I felt deflated. I felt anger. I felt rage. I felt sad. I felt depressed. I was all over the place. Nothing could have prepared me for how bad that was going to hurt. Nothing. And then I began to go in my mind, what did I do wrong? I mean, did I not clean up after myself? Did I leave my underwear on her side of the floor one too many times? What could it have been? I mean, I had wined her, I dined her, I bought her jewelry, we sat late into the night talking. I even learned all of her love languages and spoke them fluently. Why would she leave? What was I going to tell the kids? The next couple of weeks were a really hard time. I shut the blinds. I really didn't care about anything anymore. The kids saw me at the worst. My worst. Definitely my worst. And then I got angry. I got mad. I started to yell and I started to have a conversation with it. I was, God, please. I don't understand this. This was your plan. I was completely faithful to her, but she cheated. And then the Lord unloaded on me a ton of bricks. And it wasn't his anger, but it was his love. He began to pour out his hurt for us as a nation, that we had left him, a completely faithful God, for other lovers who weren't really lovers. How we had settled for cheap gods, for all these empty things that we were trying to fill ourselves with, but just finding ourselves more empty and more empty and more empty, when all he wanted to do was fill us. And then he flipped it on me. I did not see this coming. He said, Hosea, I want to tell you something about Jezreel. And if you remember correctly, Jezreel was named after a valley of mass murder. He said, Hosea, what I'm about to do is that valley that was known for generations by mass murder, I'm going to restore Israel there. And for generations to come, Jezreel will be associated with hope. Okay. All right, I can deal with that. Now, you do know I have 2 other kids, right, Lord? Right? He said, Hosea, I want you to rename your daughter Mercy. I was like, for real? You're not joking? I can drop the no. He said, yeah. Because I'm about to show a rebellious people mercy. Undeserved. And then I was thinking, okay, I got a 3rd son. I got a 3rd child. How do we rename nobody? I mean, body's not much of a cooler name. I mean, dropping the no wouldn't really do anything here. He said, I want you to rename nobody somebody. And here's why. Because there will be a day when Israel sees me as somebody again, and I see you as somebody. I mean, is there really a better name when the Lord sees you as somebody? There's really no other name you would want. So Jezreel, a place of hope, mercy, and somebody. Now, it still left the issue of my cheating wife. I wasn't exactly sure how to approach this, but the Lord said, I want you to go after her. It's like, all right. But then he added this. He said, I want you to know something. Things have gotten so bad for Gomer that she's actually had to sell herself into slavery. She is owned by someone else right now, and you are going to have to buy her back. I said, no, she's my wife. I should be able to walk in there and take her out of there. God said no. And he was very persistent about this. He would not let me drop this. He said, there is to be a price that is paid. It will be a price that is paid once and for all. You will buy your wife back. All right. As many times as he told me to do that, I had it. I got it. I get it. I took the kids over to a friend's house. And I said, kids, I'm going to go for a little bit. I don't know. It could be forever. And they were like, well, how long are you going to be gone? And I said, as long as it takes to bring your mother home. I said it just like that. I said it like a superhero. It was awesome. I felt really strong at that moment. But the media was having a heyday with this. I mean, I was aware of all of Gomer's lovers because they were posting pictures of her new lover of the week all over the place. And then I saw the article that said Gomer hits new low, sells self to highest bidder. I knew where she was, so I went. I remember walking onto the property and kind of standing at the fence, just kind of getting myself psyched up. I was like, you can do this, 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 you can do this. Walked up to the door and I kicked it down. I said, who's in charge here? I'm here to buy my wife back. Spices, grain, silver. I didn't care the cost. I was paying it. I was going to pay to buy her back. After I paid the price, I remember walking out. They pointed me in her direction. She was outside. She was working. She was in the dirt. And I saw her. I knew she saw me, but she wouldn't look at me. She didn't make eye contact with me. I could see it on her. I could see this regret and this shame and this guilt that we tend to hold on to when we go places that we never meant to go. I could see it all over her. And my heart was exploding for her. I remember just kind of kneeling down, and she wouldn't stop working. I just watched her. I didn't know what to say. What do you say? And I sat there and just watched. And then I just grabbed her hand. And I said, let's go home. On the walk home, she didn't say anything. She didn't have much to say. And I was fine with that. As we were walking home, I got to tell her the great news about our kids. I was like, guess what? Our kids got new names. We talked about everything. Well, I did most of the talking. Actually, I did all of the talking. She just listened. And you know, the coolest part was that I didn't care if she was saying anything or not. We were home. She was home. And I really felt like this time was for good. You know, the funny or sad part about all of this is that in this whole process of us trying to fill ourselves with these cheap gods, we pursue them and they leave us empty. But yet the one who pursues us wants to fill us to overflow. I hope a generation not yet born gets this. I hope you get this.